Thank you for joining us at Grateful Gratitude with Lolo and Lexie. We are practicing gratitude girls that strive every day to recognize and celebrate our blessings. We are a mother and daughter that practice gratitude every day and put God in the center of our life. The only way to live a blessed and happy life is to be grateful. May you feel God's love and blessing each and every day.
We finally have Lexie in here for a Grateful Gratitude episode. Lexie, let's talk about some selfishness today.
All right. Sounds good. Mom wrote a really good blog post on, and if you haven't read her blogs yet, go to gratefulgratitude.net and read the blog about how it's okay to be selfish. And most people think that being selfish is a negative connotation and something that you would try not to do, but in certain ways it's pretty important as far as your well-being and your health and everything like that. So I know probably everyone can relate with this, but I think like a lot of women can relate with this, or a lot of moms can, in the sense of this world is so fast-paced and crazy that it's easy to lose track of taking care of yourself. I think it was Mother Teresa that said once that whenever she would serve people, she would go and serve food to the poor or whatever. But before she would actually serve them, she would feed herself first. Mm-hmm. And that's because you can't take care of others the best way possible unless you take care of yourself. And so I know I find myself at the end of the day stressed out sometimes, frustrated, not really. I've had to learn how to kind of unwind at the end of the day and take time for myself, because otherwise I won't sleep and then I'll feel horrible the next day. And then it's just like a domino effect.
And you get cranky
Yes, cranky, and it's just not fun. But, so anyways, so I think we just kind of explained in the blog that, the more that you do, the more that you need to take time for yourself. And to be selfish is okay. To say no and not to take on so much stuff is definitely okay. Because when it comes down to it, yes, it's great when you're there for others, or when you're in your own business, building it up and things like that. All of that is fine, but there will be a dwindling point whenever you kind of fizz out because you haven't taken care of yourself, if you know.
And that's not, to me, that's not really selfish. Because you're just making sure that you are in the best position to be able to help others.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so I think that for me, I know growing up, my mom Lolo taught me really how to always be very humble and gracious to others. And I don't know why, but I just remember, not to like toot my own horn, but when I was younger, like I didn't want anybody to be upset. I always wanted to do for others. Like there's a home video of me picking up a soccer ball and like giving it to my cousins, and then they would just like throw it, and then I just go run and get it and bring it back to them, and like
Lexie playing fetch.
Pretty much. And it's funny, but it just showed that like I get gratification out of when I'm helping others, which I think we can all relate to. Mm-hmm. They always say, what is it, the most selfish thing you could do is something for someone else?
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what? And I say this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand how people don't understand that. If you haven't experienced that for yourself,
mm-hmm.
It is a concept that's hard to understand. But once you experience it for yourself,
and you get that overjoying of happiness when you help someone. But not even in like the big situations like you do, Mark, with special needs adults and children, even just like the little things. At the end of the day, I know, like, if I didn't complete everything I was supposed to, I'm really bad at being hard on myself. So I knew that the way I dealt with that was if I had done a few things to help somebody else, then it made me feel good at night if I didn't accomplish everything on my list. And so, but with becoming a mother and everything and being a wife and staying at home and everything, I've really learned, I really have to take 30 minutes, an hour for myself. And like the past 2 nights, like I never take baths just because they take too long. And, there's a dog barking, a baby screaming, my husband mowing the grass or whatever the deal is. But the last few nights, my husband just took care of it and and I went and took some time for myself. And it was so good because I was actually able to unwind and sleep. And I haven't been able to sleep very well in months since my baby's been born. So
good for you, though.
Yeah, it's better. But yeah, for sure.
So how do you determine whether you're being too selfish or not?
See, that's hard because, like, I get really uncomfortable in situations when I'm talking with others and I feel like I'm, like, talking about myself too much, or, I don't know, I get really, like, I'll overthink things and I never want to come across as selfish or, like, arrogant or anything. So, for me, it's kind of hard because I'm always worried that I'm, like, I always want to make it about the other person when I'm talking to someone, or I try not to make it about myself, even though I talk a lot and I probably do make it about myself. But I don't know. I think there's a balance where you just have to ask yourself, you know, what are you devoting your time to? And it's different for everyone. If you're working 9 to 5 and that whole time and you don't get a lunch, or even if you do get a lunch, all of that time is so for your boss or, you know, whatever the deal is. I know I used to work full time. And so when you get home, it would be like, okay, I just want to sit here for like 10 minutes and do nothing and let myself decompress. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But maybe, I guess once you start pushing others away because whatever plan it is or whatever you're planning to do, if you're thinking about what's convenient for you over what might help someone else, that might be the line where you're being a little too selfish. I don't know.
No, it can be really hard to figure out.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think anybody should worry about, I think the main part of this is just not to worry too much about being too selfish. You know, it's okay to take the time for yourself. And if it does, the thing is, it may come across to other people that, you know, it may frustrate someone here and there, but that doesn't matter because your well-being is number one. And
it's the whole, you've got to put your oxygen mask on first.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that was one of those things I remember as a kid being like, why? That's so bad. Like, but it makes sense. It's literally, you have to take care of yourself if you want to help someone else. And how can you really be a role model, or not even role model, but a good example for someone if you don't take care of your own self? So.
Absolutely true.
Yep.
Absolutely. So how can people find you guys?
You can find us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page that's just daily Bible verses, and that is just grateful gratitude. That's it. And then on Instagram, we post about what's going on in our business, you know, podcasts, all of that kind of stuff. Our events coming up, and that's on Instagram, which is Grateful Gratitude 11. And then Mom has a blog, which is gratefulgratitude.net. And then we have a YouTube channel, which is also, I think is it Grateful Gratitude 11?
It is.
Okay, thank you. I always forget if there's an 11 on that one or
Grateful Gratitude 11, and grateful is Grate.
Yes. Yes. Grate.
All right. Well, it's been great talking to you.
Thank you.